Skip. So you feel that he's going to be able to get that kind of protection against Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham and Barnett? Sweat. So that's what you believe in. You feel pretty encouraged.
Sweat's out this time, but that's okay.
Dang.
Yeah, okay, but Fletcher
Skip.
Cox hasn't practiced, but you just know what that's about. He's just resting up so he can eat, right? And he will come in. They will cause problems. I still have 3 really good receivers. I don't care what you say. They're all Pro Bowl quality receivers. They didn't make the Pro Bowl, but they're quality. Yeah. So I say they can make enough plays. Darius Slay is coming back for he cleared concussion protocol and full participant in practice, so that's no good for me. But still, I think look, I'm going to be such mixed emotions. I've never been thrust into this bad a situation, trying to root for my team while also hoping that the rival quarterback has a good game. And I believe he will have a good game because everybody has a good game against my defense.
Yeah.
So I say fairly high scoring. But I say Andy Dalton, who I used to call the best quarterback still in the East until Jalen came along. Now I think Andy Dalton's the second best quarterback.
Oh, wow.
But I believe because they're on a quiet little late season roll, that they will manage to turn him over a couple of times, which he has not been doing. He had the late turnover the first game he played against New Orleans, which was just careless. But I think they'll turn him over a couple of times. Trevon Diggs has been talking about they're close from Alabama days together, and he said, today the kids today are different because usually when you're playing your best friend, you're like, boy, I hate this. I don't want that. Today the kids want to play against each other and beat each other and humiliate each other.
Have bragging rights.
Right? What? Okay, so that's what he said. I want to get him a couple times.
Right.
Well, I hope he does.
Right.
He's back. And he is a player, and I think he's destined to make some Pro Bowls in his career. So I have a very good feeling that my team's on enough of a roll at home. Remember, they're like the only team in the league that gets fans. I don't know. It seems like every game at Jerry World, there are more fans. It feels like it's half full.
It went from like 5,000 to 6,000 down to 30.
I look around, I say, it's half full. It looks like COVID. What COVID?
So let me ask you this, Skip. Here's a team, your defense now. Your defense is second to last in rushing. I mean, they're last in rushing defense. They're second to last in scoring defense.
But a lot of that got built up from all those disasters early.
But here's the thing, though. And what you're doing is taking the last 2 games and so you want to whitewash 12 previous games and only look at the last 2 games.
Somehow this defense made peace with the new coordinator, Mike Nolan. I don't think he'll be back next year, but somehow internally, maybe led by Sean Lee, who's still the leader of that defense, who is healthy, and I think he's going to play a lot on Sunday. I think they all just said, because you don't like him. But
I like him. He just can't play no more.
Okay, well, Van Der Esch has got an ankle, so I don't even know if he's going to be able to go. But somehow that defense has said, let's just do it in spite of him. Let's just play our technique the way he wants us to play and see if we can figure this out. And DeMarcus Lawrence has risen and shown in the last 2 Sundays, where he gave me 2 Pro Bowl games in a row. And I need another one against Jalen Hurts. And I just got a feeling they can win this game 30-27. So meanwhile, back at the ranch, back in Washington, okay, look what's happening here. You realize they just got flexed. So all of a sudden, for the first time all year, they're going to feel pressure they have not felt because they've been doing it in the shadows. They sort of came from nowhere when you least expected it. They started Haskins the first 4 games. He was a disaster. They did steal the first game against Philly, and that kind of kept him afloat. Then they wiped out Dallas twice, second time on Thanksgiving. It was just annihilation, humiliation. And yet there was no pressure on them because nobody really cared about the least until lately.
Well, I'm disappointed that you guys got flexed out because we know what you guys do in prime time. You guys buckled in prime time. Remember every prime time game that you guys have played this year? What has happened? You look terrible. So I'm disappointed that you got flexed out. That they flexed Cleveland and the Giants in your schedule because that would have been a loss.
Okay, but I told you yesterday, I was hoping that the the playing field will get leveled between us and the Washington football team, our longtime arch rival, our most bitter rival, because we got strapped with one Ben DiNucci game in prime time at Philadelphia. How lucky were you in that game? Our 7th-round rookie had to play, and he was not ready to, and I'm not sure he'll ever be ready to.
Well, Washington said we got strapped with Dwayne Haskins.
Okay, well, you did not. You picked him. He was like the 15th overall pick in the draft. I mean, come on.
Ron Rivera said I didn't pick him.
Okay, well, he didn't, and now you got problems because it doesn't look like it's going to be your 3rd-string quarterback, Taylor Heineke. That would be fair, right? Because he's undrafted out of Old Dominion, but he did start a game for Carolina a couple of years ago.
Right.
But then you got Steven Montez from Colorado, undrafted rookie, is on your practice squad. And I was even hoping he would be your Ben DiNucci, that you're going to have to play him. Well, it's just fair. Level the playing field. You can have one game with Steven Montez. We had one with Ben DiNucci.
No, don't do that, Skip.
We had one with Garrett Gilbert. He played pretty well, actually.
Look, come on, Skip. We're playing with a guy that many people thought he would never play again. He almost had his leg amputated.
Okay, I got it.
That should be our Ben DiNucci.
Okay, all right. So whatever. So it looks like Alex Smith, he threw on the side. He's listed as limited, which means I guess he's going to play. That's what it feels like to me. He's got a calf injury. Okay, so how limited will he be if he starts the game? Well, all I got to tell you is the last time I watched Alex Smith was at San Francisco against the same team that we just blew out 41. They got a late Hail Mary 33. It's 41-33. Alex Smith had a QBR of 9 on a scale of 0 to 100 in the game back in his old stomping grounds where he got picked 1st overall at San Francisco.
Right.
Help me out. Is that good?
No, Skip.
No.
Because, look, the thing is, they're probably going to heat him up. Skip, he can't move.
Okay, thank you. So it's either going to be Alex Smith or they're stuck with a Dwayne Haskins who...
They can't get off the roster fast enough.
Okay, they cannot because, again, they fined him. They took away his captaincy.
Well, they should put an S on his chest. Selfish.
Okay, selfish. That's fine with me. And by the way, Steven Montez on the practice squad liked a tweet that called Dwayne Haskins garbage. G-A-R-B-A-G-E. It was just written out garbage, and he liked it. Ooh, that's strong. Yeah. I wish he was starting. But the point is, if you're stuck with Dwayne Haskins for whatever reason, because Rivera's saying, well, if it's not Alex, it's still Dwayne.
Right.
Your heart going to be in it, playing for that guy after what he did to you?
Well, Skip, we still got a chance. I think we set that aside for the simple fact of what's at stake. We still have an opportunity, we still have an opportunity to win the division. Yes, I'm disappointed because he put us in a situation that didn't need to happen. And, you know, the old saying, Skip, it's easier to apologize than ask for permission. Because do you believe that he would say, hey, Coach Rivera, let me ask you a question. I know we lost today, but you think it'd be okay if I go to the strip joint and blow off a little steam?
Yeah.
But it's easier to apologize than ask that man for permission.
Yep.
So with that being said, I still believe the defense can win the game. Now, Alex Smith, Skip, we know Alex. He got the name checked down because he was unwilling to take risks. I looked at, Skip, Alex Smith threw 125 touchdowns in 5 years in Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes has 112 in 45 games. So what will he have in 5 years? So you're probably talking about 170, 180 touchdowns. What this guy threw in 5 years. So he's very cautious with the football. The problem is, Skip, he just can't move. Okay. It's hard for him to get out of harm's way.
Okay, so this is going to be a low-scoring affair. When I guessed the point spread on Carolina at Washington, I just thought, the Reds, I'm calling them the Redskins, the football team, I'm thinking
3-4.
No, I thought it'd be 6. I thought, come on, over Carolina, they've lost what? That's 10 in a row now? 10 in a row they've lost. And I look, and it opened at only 1.5. Washington football team by 1.5.
Yeah.
Now it's been bet up because people are saying, really, only 1.5 to 2.5.
Right.
Well, that means Carolina, according to the odds makers, has a shot here.
They do. They do. Because they're looking at, Skip, they're looking at the quarterback situation in Washington. It's not like it's a pillar of stability. You got Alex Smith, who missed the game the previous week with a calf injury. We don't know he's throwing on the side. Hell, Skip, throwing on the side ain't throwing on the field and taking steps because he's being very cautious with it. He's not going back, dropping and driving that football because he doesn't want to run the risk of injury.
Okay.